Welcome back, everybody. It's the Summit Asia kicking off today. It's our inaugural day for the Summit Asia, at least the main tournament. We had some Chinese pre-qualifiers, and we've got 8 teams playing in a 8-team double elimination bracket from China, as well as 1 Southeast Asian team with Titan coming through the inaugural. 3 Chinese teams coming through the pre-qualifiers there. And Ben, how you doing, man?
How you doing? You look like you have anime hair today.
It's getting longer. It's doing better. I've got to get it primed for TI. It's been too short for too long.
What about the Enchantress cosplay?
It's coming too. I actually talked to the person I commissioned it to today, and I got on her back about it.
You talked to somebody. That's some progress.
Oh, wow.
Anyways,
the goal is picture ourselves 5 years from now, like TI 9's coming up, and we're still talking about my Enchantress cosplay, and we haven't done it yet.
Oh, Jesus.
It's going to be like an ongoing, when is it actually happening? But no one's ever going to believe it, so. IG versus Dreamtime, our first best of 3 for today. IG just coming back from Star Ladder. There was a couple, some apparently rumored internal problems with the team, but they've got their full roster. There's no roster changes that have actually happened, despite rumors, so we'll see how they do against Dreamtime.
It's a really bad time to roster shuffle.
Yeah.
Right before TI invites.
Yeah. That almost may be partly why they don't actually want to do roster reshuffles. There was a big rumors that Chuan as well as Faith were going to be joining Newbie. A couple news sites actually picked up on it. Ghost Gamers reported on it. It was on Reddit, but in the end, they're still playing for IG, and I suspect maybe the TI4 coming up was part of that. At the end of the day, they got 4th place at Star Ladder. That's 4th place in a tournament with all the best teams out there, so I feel like 4th place is pretty damn good.
Drama's brewing.
Yeah.
Well, there was MVP Phoenix, too.
Yep.
Don't say all the best teams.
Well, no, I'm saying all the best teams had a chance to be there. Like, you look at all the only teams that didn't have a chance to be there were your Southeast Asian teams. So there was no SEA qualifier, but all the best European and American teams. The only argument is, for America, there was only 1 spot, so, Liquid wasn't there, Dog wasn't there, but... I mean, Fnatic and Cloud9 also missed out, but we saw how Fnatic did at DreamHack, so
yeah.
I don't think...
That was disappointing.
No value was lost.
I had high hopes
I heard you were flaming Fnatic in the studio. There's people complaining about it, but...
I just don't think they deserve an invite.
If I was there, I would have backed you up.
Everyone's like, Fnatic won the captain's
yeah. Winning a captain's draft tournament is...
I like Fnatic.
So do
They're
I.
all great guys. I have nothing against them. I just don't, Well, just judging by recent results, it just has not been impressive. They lost to Navi, to Havos and Denny +3.
Yeah.
What?
That was not a serious team.
It wasn't.
They weren't even drafting serious half the time, so I don't know. But
yeah,
let's get ourselves in the draft, shall we? There we go.
Asian Dota.
Asian Dota, it's been a while. We've got big thanks to Ace as well for helping us out organizing our Asian portion. Working closely with them, it's been a lot of fun. But IG versus Dreamtime, it's fairly standard stuff with the draft. Nothing too crazy just yet. Yeah.
No, I'm looking. What's this thing in the middle?
The names of the players is who's going to be playing which hero.
Oh, okay.
So
this is news to me.
K-pop Tosis, he slides their names around and says, "I think YYF's going to be on Centaur. Let's put him on the Centaur."
Cool. Well, I was looking for the big thingy, our hexagons.
They'll come up soon enough. The big thing to note here, Razor often picked up by Dreamtime. You'll see it's actually one of their most picked heroes.
I can't actually believe Razor's getting buffed next patch. He's getting buffed fairly significantly.
What were the buffs? I haven't actually read over the change.
He gets 0.6 more strength per level, and Unstable Current it slows for longer.
Okay.
But 0.6 strength is a lot, especially on a
do you really think so?
Relatively squishy. I think so.
I think if you look at how much extra strength he gets over the course of the game, it's actually not that much bonus HP.
That's level 10, you get what, 100 HP? That's a lot, man.
It's definitely decent. I
already think the hero is strong. I guess with the not as many BKBs getting gotten, he's not as popular, and a lot of range carries instead.
The era of BKB carries is somewhat past. But.
Yeah, I'm glad. BKB carries is boring.
Well, the Chinese teams are still doing lots of... They like to play safe and go for their BKB carries. Speaking of which, we get a Luna here, so there's one of your BKB carries. But this is potentially a more aggressive mid-game strat when you've got the Prophet in there as well. So, not necessarily going to be a... Let's farm.
So much right clicks with the AA and the Luna.
As for IG, Sand King Visage, so they get a pretty aggressive support combo. A support combo that really shines in the mid-game, I feel, when Sand King has his level 6, level 7... Same for the Visage. Their level 1 is actually not that strong because Visage only has 1 spell. Sand King's Burrow Strike's pretty short range, but they can still kill an offlane Prophet. It doesn't take too much.
I think Sand King's is definitely worthy of first pick maybe even over AA. He just has an instant stun. He has a ton of AoE damage, and he can get levels very effectively if you're behind. I think being able to come back from a bad start is an ability that's very, very underrated.
Okay.
Similar to like TA being on dire side, you can do Roshan if you want to get back in the game.
Well, we'll see IG pick up the TA for Ferrari 430. People kind of joke that Ferrari 430 was carrying the team a bit on his back throughout the past 6 months, and he's definitely playing really well, but we'll see him on the Templar Assassin here, and doesn't really reveal what Luo's hero is. Luo's one of those players who is super flexible with his heroes. Like, one day he's playing like Nature's Prophet, the next he's playing a hard carry Luna, then he's playing an Invoker. Like, this guy just plays whatever he's given. Not always to the level you'd hope for with some of the games at Starlight, but generally speaking, he's a really versatile player.
TA relatively early pickup. We saw TA get really punished in the grand finals of Bucharest, and that was a Templar Assassin that was actually, I believe, last pick, not even fourth to last pick.
With that said, the winner bracket final, they first picked TA and won with it against Alliance.
That's
the game won when Alliance first picked Invoker, and then they first two picked TA in response. So
I don't think they drafted properly against it, but TA
No.
is not terribly.
Yeah, I feel like
drafted.
Alliance didn't punish the TA pick that game. And it's hard to do so when you have an Invoker and they only run Invoker mid, because S4 is the only one who plays Invoker.
You can run a safe lane. They need it. They need to switch things up. Invoker can go safe lane. That's not terrible.
It just means then you have to put Loader mid, which is, I think, Alliance more than capable. Loader's played mid in the past, so why not? And I think that's where
Bulldog mid.
Yeah.
Can
I think
Bulldog play
if-
mid? Actually, no. I actually
why
don't know.
not?
Anyway,
I mean, in theory, they're all top tier players. So
I don't know that much about Dreamtime. I did cast them a little bit for Starladder China, but I haven't seen too much of them. I think
they played in. I mean, you casted the TI3 qualifiers with us. This is the team mostly known as Rising Stars with Air, Super, and XDD.
That's
so they played a lot of like Wisp. They played a lot of Jungle Enchantress as well. Like Super is their kind of Wisp plus Enchantress jungle player. Air's the guy who plays a lot of Razor. Although actually it's XDD who I think is on carry at the moment, so I think this will be his Luna. Yeah, K-Poptosis agrees. He's got XDD on the Luna. So, yeah, I've seen a bit of them lately. I mean, the Razor's the main thing that stands out for me, but they're a team who, in the... How did they do in the pre... So the pre-qualifier had 6 Chinese teams fighting over 3 extra spots, so IG, LGD, Vici Gaming, and Newbie all got directly invited, and then there was Dreamtime, NE, HGT, Speed Gaming, Tongfu, and one other team. CIS, Black's team, playing in this. So I think Dreamtime ended up 3rd place, only just getting past the pre-qualifiers. It was... First place was HGT, went undefeated, and second place was actually New Element, who I hadn't even heard of, really, before not long ago.
There was a Brewmaster ban. And a Razor ban from Dreamtime.
Well, DT are banning the Razor. That's what's weird about this.
They're like, oh my gosh, this hero's so strong, we can't give it to them.
That's a respect ban. For their respect banning their own hero because they think they overrate it, maybe.
So Weaver will be the last pick. Looking at the hexagons, there's almost no disable on the side of Dreamtime. They do have Venge Stun. I'm actually surprised they didn't go for something like...
IG, you mean? Or,
no,
or both teams?
Dreamtime. Oh. They could have gone for something like a Storm mid, I think, instead of TA.
I mean, it's pretty true. They don't have much disable. It's only a Vengeful Spirit Stun, which is not really... It's a single target, one hero disable, so...
And it's not instant.
There we go. That added a little bit to their hexagon. I feel like it should... DK's like... To me, DK's like a spammable Beastmaster when he's in ulti form, because that stun is... ridiculously powerful.
Is way better than Beastmaster's Roar.
I think if you replace Beastmaster Roar with like ranged Dragon Tail, it would be a better hero.
Yeah, I think if his Scepter upgrade were his ultimate, and then they change his Scepter upgrade to something else, then he would be awesome.
Yeah.
But I guess that's a little bit OP. It goes through BKB and whatnot.
Yeah. Dragon Tail to me is what makes DK like the as good as he is. It's just that instant initiator. They actually nerfed it. They nerfed it in the recent patch. So what did they nerf?
It scales per level.
Oh, they changed the cooldown. It used to be the same cooldown at all levels, I believe.
Now it scales.
The damage and stun was always like, cause it was always a slightly better stun when it was at level 4, but like 2.5 to 3.25 is like, no real biggie. But the cooldown is what is actually quite a big thing. So 12 seconds to 9 seconds, is it?
Yeah, it's a range almost instant stun too, which is a little absurd.
There's not many heroes who have that instant stun. Like Rubik's probably one of the few others with the telekinesis.
Sand King.
Yeah, Sand King's great. And these are the kind of heroes which counter BKB heroes because you can actually stun them up before they pop their BKBs. So, well, we'll see what the plan is. They get the DK, most likely going mid. So we'll introduce our 2 teams here in our First match of the Summit Asia. We've got Dreamtime on the Radiant side. It's going to be in July, playing the offlane Nature's Prophet. Boots first for him. Air going to be on the solo mid Dragon Knight. And the safe lane trial lane Super on the Ventral Spirit. We've got Mr. No Name on the Ancient Apparition. And then it's going to be XDD playing the Luna. No Name is... who am I missing from DT? I'm drawing blanks here as to who the 5th player is, but we'll hold that thought as there is.
Are they gonna feed the treants? No!
Expire!
Deny it!
Doesn't get it. Dreamy U. So the 5th player is Dreamy U.
This is ambitious, going for an aggressive try. Sand King notoriously poor at levels 1 and 2, so generally you want to like stack and pull, maybe threaten a zone out on the offlaner, but he is just not terribly great in a try-on-try in the offensive try lane.
And it's not like Centaur is going to beat Nature's Prophet in the safe lane. Like if you had 1v1 matchups which you were going to win, then that's one thing, but that's not really the case. Luckily they get a double damage route. That's going to help them out, but we'll introduce Team IG on the Dire side. It's going to be Z or Luo on the Weaver, Faith on the Visage, Sand King being played by Chuan. Mid lane's going to be Ferrari 430 on the Templar Assassin, and then finally, safe lane solo, YYF on the Centaur Warrunner. He's going to be up against that Nature's Prophet, so... Trialing vs. Trialing, yeah, I agree. This is AA plus Ventral Spirit plus Luna. Luna Blessing plus Chilling Touch. The damage output's insane.
Yeah, combine that with Wave of Terror and potentially Vengeance Aura. That's scary.
Yeah, I actually have to be so careful with this trialing.
But Luo does have a DD, so
this will help him like get a couple CS at least.
And they have a Sentry in case they do want to go on either Weaver or Sand King.
Yeah, and they're ready to go. So this is the DD's already worn off. Like end of the day, the DD's nice. It got him 1 CS and 2 denies, but it's not going to win him the lane by any means. And the big thing they have done is block the pull. So
look at Air just tanking so much side blades in the middle.
Ferrari. Man, there's still this highlight clip that LD casted with him from like a couple years ago where he kills a Broodmother with TA.
I remember that one.
And it's just insane watching him do it. Like the entire thing was like it was part guesswork and luck, but he just like when you watch it, he just makes it look like it was entirely. I mean, it was intended, but he makes it look like he just had vision of the Brood the entire time. That is still like my favorite Ferrari clip. I think it's one of my favorite Dota 2 clips to this day.
He makes it look so darn easy.
Why can't I play TA like that? God damn it. So many of these right clicks, yeah, just always spilling onto the Dragon Knight, making sure he gets as much harass as possible.
So Dragon Knight's doing pretty well in terms of CS.
He's actually ahead.
He has no denies, though.
You don't need denies. I think it was something that, I can't remember, I think it was Artesia or someone was talking about, that denies nowadays, you don't actually deny that much experience. Like, last hits is the main thing that matters. If you mess up your opponent's CS without getting deny, it's just as good as getting a deny. I'm going to take a bit of damage here at the bottom row. They're contesting this 2-minute rune. Invis going to be picked up by Chuan, and boy, was he happy about that.
Woohoo. I think that if Ven had gotten that, he probably could have gone for a kill.
Sand King just level 1. Had a burst, yeah, quite possibly.
Okay,
you could wait for the next stun.
Yeah, it would have been pretty close. He will get
Did he have mana for it? Because he didn't use the clarity. His mana pool doesn't actually support 2 stuns. Like he needs that like little bit of regen.
You can just use it as you invest.
Yeah.
No problem. But yeah, Super should have been sitting on top of a rune. If it's a DD, he can probably get a kill too. If it's a haste, he can definitely get a kill. So
he used the stun a bit too early. If he saved the stun like as the rune was spawning, he would have been better off. But they're gonna come in. This is maybe a dead ancient apparition. Uh oh, Dreamy U in some trouble here. Lua shows up with an early point in the swarm. The courier as well. Chuan spots it. He wants to go for it. No, he's just gonna body block. Really nice play here. Dreamy U's got no way out. The soul assumption. First blood to Faith. The magic missile coming in bit lane. Super may pay for this as well. What's he done? Chuan's got a stun. This is going to be a dead Ventral Spirit. The Lucent Beam coming out, but XCD, man, you do not want to fight these heroes, and that's just bad positioning almost from Dreamtime.
They saw him get the Invis rune.
Yeah.
Like, they have 2 sentries. They did manage to deward one of the wards, but still, IG winning this trial that they should not be winning.
And getting the early point in Swarm instead of Gemini, I actually kind of like. I think Gemini's one of those skills which... It's good to get 1 point in, but Swarm scales quite nicely. Especially the level 1 Swarm doesn't have that long a duration. Like 8 seconds, you want to get up to that like 12-second duration, so...
Gives you vision too.
Yeah.
Vision's OP.
Vision minus armor, so I think going for like or getting a 2nd point in... Probably want 1 in the Gemini at level 4, but after that I'd start maxing Swarm after Shikuchi.
Stats, man. I'm all about the stats build.
On Weaver.
Yeah, dude, his HP is awful.
Denied.
Yeah. This is a good start to the offensive trial, and it was a risky thing to be doing from the get-go. The other reason it's super risky is because there's a Prophet on DT's side. They can always be TPing in this Nature's Prophet. He's now even got phase boots to go with this, so doing an offensive trial lane, against a slightly stronger tri-lane plus a Nature's Prophet was such a risky call from IG.
It is super risky. I think they would be punished for it by a better team.
Luckily for them, DK is still doing well this mid lane. He's actually starting to fall behind quite heavily on CS by the TA, but you kind of expect that once TA gets some levels. So TA now level 5 has 26 CS to the DK's 13. So what started off good for DK is quickly turned sour.
Indeed it is. No one's rotated around the map except for now.
This is not expected from
They do have a observer ward here. Oh, he smoked!
Oh, wow. Oh, this is almost definitely a kill. In July, there's no way you read this one coming in. Chuan sees him last team. There'll be a stun. Centaur will follow this one up. In July, there's no way out of this.
Yeah, there's just almost no way. Especially if he TPs from the fog and smokes, like, good luck. Maybe if he has a ward behind the tower, but there's no reason to have that ward as a Nature's Prophet.
It's so smart for Chuan to smoke, because he knows that offlane heroes are likely to ward either the pull or somewhere in these trees is almost always going to be warded by an offlane hero, because DT didn't know this offensive challenge coming. So Centaur's... Oh, the Nature's Prophet's going to put a ward somewhere down there. Bottom lane, though. Faith getting ganked up here. TP in by in July. Oh, that was such an easy kill. Lure may be in some trouble as well. They've still got that sentry ward. Vengeful Spirit, no. Lure's going to run back through the lane here. Stampede also being used. They're on the run, not going to find him with the Sprite. Stampede, I think, just being used to help out Lure there to make sure he get that extra movement speed once the Shikuchi wore off.
And now the push begins with Lunar Blessing, with level 3 Treants, and although Nature's Prophet died, he is already level 6. So this tower taking a ton of damage. I don't really see any resistance coming.
IG just don't have the best heroes to stop this push, I feel. Like, if they had Stampede plus Sanking Initiation, maybe, but they just used the Stampede.
I think Centaur can TP in and tank it. He's still beefy enough, and Luna's not level 6 yet.
We're taking a bit of damage there. Pops his Magic Wand, and Tier 1 tower already dead, so... Ferrari hoping for a 6-minute bottom rune, and we'll see if he can find that. No, oh, it gets a haste, so...
Yeah, their push is so swift, though, and that's without DK joining the fray.
Yeah. It's where if IG start losing any fights or get anyone picked off, every time they get picked off, it's going to be followed up by a quick tower push. So they've got to play pretty flawlessly compared to DT, who if they... I mean, they lost 2 heroes in their tri lane, but it doesn't really matter because they can still guarantee themselves these early towers. So losing a kill or 2 for DT isn't going to cost them as much as IG, where it's going to follow and lead to towers being lost.
They do need Blink on Saint.
Oh, nice stun under the tower. Lure's in trouble. Gets down very low. He gets brought down by the Prophet Ultimate. Really nicely played. They just drop the center under the tower and lead with the Magic Missile. Not something that Weaver was expecting there, and I can't even blame Lure for dying there.
Yeah, Weaver also went with like a mass survivability build. No boots and just ton of stats, armor, magic stick to boot.
2 kills to 3 now. DT getting some more momentum going their way. Air's hit level 6 now, so this is where he probably even joins up with his team for some of these pushes. It doesn't have too much as far as farm goes, so it's just the 900 gold. Probably just see like a Treads Drums type build out of him.
They need Chuan to get some kills or get his Blink Dagger. It looks like he was working on it. He was doing a double stack out there with the level 2 Sandstorm. He is level 5.
Faith also needs level on Visage. Like, you look at these IG supports, sure they did well in the offensive trialing, but at this stage, they need level 6, level 7. Like, you want to see Visage with Familiar, Sanking with level 6, probably level 7 for the level 4 Burrow Strike. More so than the Epicenter. Epicenter doesn't help until you have the Blink Dagger as much, but I feel like this is a stage where IG need to sit back and get their levels rather than fight.
Yeah, I think they need to try and slow down the pushes as much as possible, though, so they can get some more farm on TA, at least get level 6 on Weaver, wait for the Blink on Centaur. There's a lot of things that they're waiting for that's going to come out in the next 3 or 4 minutes if DT doesn't pressure them that hard.
And DT's not waiting for anything. They can push if they want to. Like, XDD doesn't have much farm, but... Oh, well, yeah. AA in some trouble. Luo's just going to get solo kill here. No way out for AA. I've been using the Swarm to make sure of it, so... Nature's Prophet nearby. He is going to go for a Midas regardless, but... I imagine he'll still be involved in some very early game pushes now, especially that he's hit level 7, has the max streams. TP in mid lane. Ferrari in some trouble. They led with the stun. They got a Dragon Tail to follow Sprout as well. Ferrari has a regen where he's trying to TP out. Not going to do so. Nice. Breathe Fire going to finish off the kill. And this is going to be maybe a tier 1 mid tower. You get a pick off, you get a tier 1 tower to follow.
They didn't even have any reveal. Actually, like none of the heroes had a reveal.
They had a sentry at bottom lane, but yeah, it looks like they didn't have anything to detect him there. I mean, you're kind of reluctant, like if you go into meld, you're just stuck in meld for who knows how long, so it's...
Yeah, he had a haste rune. He could just wait until the Sprout. I think he thought it was...
Oh yeah, if he melded during the Sprout and then ran away.
Yeah,
with the
invulnerable haste syndrome.
Well, tier 2 tower also being chipped away at. This is 1 point in the Vengeance Aura, you've still got the Treants up as well, so... I don't think they get the tier 2 here, but they do some good damage.
This is the power of Luna, though, being able to take down towers very, very swiftly without any real items. She just has
that wasn't even Luna. That was just DK mid. Like
that's true.
DK Prophet.
DK Prophet, Venge, all the right-click power coming into play right now. And IG, they just don't have the best team fight. Weaver is pretty weak at that, although they don't have any disables. They have a ton of damage. Actually, DK has this disable, and TA can't really do that much early now either.
It's always really hard to fight into a Dragon Knight because it's so easy for DT to know who to focus. Whoever the DK stuns, you kill that hero, then move on to the next target. So like DK's on the front lines, he stuns one, you kill him, and then Vengeful Spirit probably stuns the next one, and you just go one by one. Luna's going to be level 8 now, so there's an Eclipse as well. So IG engaging into this kind of a team fight is always going to be ridiculously tricky. Good news is they've now got a Centaur Blink, so this makes things a bit easier as YYF does have Blink Dagger up.
Yeah, maybe they look to put some resistance on this top T1 tower. Everyone's already gathering up. There's a big creep wave. There's some
Prophet's going
pumpkins.
mech for the team, it looks like. I kind of like this.
They need it. I don't know who else is going to get it. AA usually works with Scepter, Vengeful. Actually has Phase Boost, a little bit surprisingly. They're going to smoke S3 from behind. But Luna's not there at all. Oh, she's TPing right now.
Yeah. This is going to be a 5. They want the tier 1 as well as the tier 2 with this, I imagine. Also want to be ready. Chuan's getting bottled up, and they're going to run right into him. Air pops the ulti, gets a stun on Chuan. Chuan's going to be dead before he can even cast a Burrow Strike. And now there's a TP in. This could be a bad place to TP into. I think they just got to sack this tower, let it go. Luo needs an escape. YYF can blink. Faith is stuck up here as well. These heroes have TPs. I don't think they can fight, though. Oh, Blink Hoofstomp. That's going to catch out 3 heroes nicely. The Swarm to follow this up. XCD gets low, but YYF going to pay for this with his life. What's he thinking engaging there?
They needed
Faith as well. It gets a kill. Nicely played by Faith. He knew he was going to die there, and he just wanted to bring down the Luna with him, so I think that's okay for Faith, because he even gets levels. He got level 7 out of that.
Their positioning was really awkward. Like, YYF was here, and then the rest of the team was over here, or Chuan and company. So YYF needs to be in front on like this area where Chuan was, or the supports need to be up there with him so they can follow with initiate.
The smoke was really the big thing there, because there was no observer, but there was a trap that they would have walked over if they weren't smoked. So IG did not see them coming because of that smoke. But you got to somewhat expect that. And now DT going to get a tier 1 as well as look to pressure this tier 2. Chuan's looking to play super aggressive here with the familiars behind him. He gets a Burrow Strike. Epicenter follow. Air's not going to get stunned. This Ice Blast going to be used as a counter here. They blow up the Vengeful Spirit to start things off in July now. He's on the run. He managed to save Air there. As they're now going to go for a TP out. No hoof stomp. And with that, only lose 1 there. IG, I thought they were going to get more out of that.
Really nice swap from Venge. Yeah. Throwing her life away for DKs.
Well worth it. This DK needs all the farm he can get. Picks up an Ogre Club and is working towards a BKB.
Gold lead, only 2,000. A little surprising considering they're 3 towers up. And
it goes to show IG, looking at the CS, you see why. Ferrari, YYF, and Luo are top 3 CS. So they're farming better, but just behind so much on tower gold.
Yeah. How's the experience looking? Looks like it's actually in favor of IG. So things may look bad after the T1s, but until DT gets their BKBs, excuse me, on Luna and or DK, I think Sand and Centaur, the double blink threat is going to be huge.
Yeah. Oh, hey, getting solo killed by a double damage TA there near the river. The Observer giving some vision there. TA going to make his way top lane. So Ferrari.
It's only hasted DD TA.
God,
whatever.
Not just DD, haste and DD. That's anyone dead. He sees Prophet. This Prophet needs to be careful. He's still got haste and DD.
Yeah, he just TP'd in.
Oh my gosh, he's got no way out. Ferrari. What a disaster.
Did he not see that coming? I guess not. Maybe his AA didn't alert him, but he should not have been caught.
Yeah, because AA got caught just like top rune by the same thing. So,
well, good news is he's still very, very close to his mech, but setting up for a gank.
There's a Blink Hoofstomp coming in. Nice swap again. This may save XC's life. Lure wants to chase. The Eclipse is coming out. Forces out the time lapse here. YYF will be brought down by a Flame Breath. No mana for a stun from the DK. Ice Blast. Looks like it's not even needed by the Radiant team. Meanwhile, in the jungle, it's Grave Chill coming. Grave Chill with the Chilling Touch. AA was hitting so bloody slow there. He had absolutely 0 attack speed.
Super with these swaps, though. Really nice positioning by him.
This time he doesn't even die. He keeps the DK alive as well as himself, so nice bit of play there.
Wasted Eclipse, though. Threatening a kill on Weaver.
Well, Eclipse for the time lapse, I guess. Like, if Weaver didn't time lapse, he was dead. But
yeah. Well, that's true. He had to do it, or else Luna was going to die anyway.
It's D2 who want to be applying pressure, and for that they want to have Eclipse. Like, if they don't have Eclipse, it's harder for them to push as 5. Whereas for IG, they're going to have time lapse back anyways. And
Luna's actually really underfarmed. She is number 6 in terms of CS, and in terms of net worth, she's also number 6. So that's a point of worry if I'm DT right now, because they need her BKB up by ASAP, and she died last fight to the Visage, who suicided his life, and on top of that, Luna doesn't have any kills. She's 0, 1, and 3. Oh, Luo.
And on top of that, there is a Sanking Blink dagger, but yeah, Luo's in no man's land central. Central deployed, and they want to chase him down here. Luo's a bit trapped. Time lapse Shikuchi on that. He walks into Dragon Tail. They'll blow him up. And I don't know. He was just pushed up a bit too far, I guess. But he's. I don't. That's one of those plays where he's creating space for like heroes to farm in other lanes. Like Ferrari's pushing this top lane pretty heavily, and problem is though, Ferrari needs this tier 1 tower ASAP because they're not going to defend this tier 2 bottom. Maybe they can with the Sanking Blink, but Chuan actually getting into a pretty good position here.
He does have Blink.
Yeah. He's ready to go. Will they TP in the TA?
Uh-oh, they find Chuan.
Oh no.
Nice Ice Vortex.
They ran out of sentries though. They used all the sentries to kill the Weaver. Howler's going to scout Chuan out as well. Gets the Blink off. Downriver. He's got no TP though, so he's still going to be on a big run here.
And they got a tower deny from YYF.
And Ferrari's going to get the top tier 1. TP in from in July. They want to go for this kill. Maybe the TPing Luna as well, but Ferrari just says, I'm getting out of here. And the tower going to go down to a... No, it doesn't go to Siege Creep. Deny. Deny. Doesn't get it. Oh no.
Oh no, indeed.
Oh no. I'm saying that like they're in a bad, like it's the end of the world for them, but it's just lots of small things that DT just aren't executing on flawlessly. If they played this game really perfectly, they could be so much further ahead right now, and instead I'd say it's a pretty even game. I think even IG in a slightly better position.
That's true. I would also argue that IG would be in a much better position if they were playing better. I think Chuan's been caught out of position a couple times. Firstly on the T1 tower push, and secondly over here. You really just want to like burrow striking the trees. They have like almost no way of getting vision there. It's right next to the tower, so they can't just like run up and find you. And you need to be relatively close to YYF just in case he gets initiated on.
Yep. Well, they're going to try to focus this T1 bottom tower. Luo's Shikuchi'd up. I mean, looking for maybe a kill on Super here. Has the Swarm. And looks like they're not going to commit fully to this one. The Familiar's doing good extra damage here. TP top. It's the Acton's going. There was an Epi Send and Pyro Strike. Luna going to be brought down there. Not even needing those TPs.
So far out. I talked about her like being able to farm her BKB. If she doesn't get her BKB, she is food. They will just focus her down every single time. Ventral Swap might be able to save her, but it's only 650 range, which is pretty much... If she's close enough to swap, she's probably close enough to get Epi Burrow Strike too. So I'm a little bit worried for Luna. And DK's nice and all, and he does have his BKB in just 100 gold, but he can't be the only source of damage.
Yeah. Well, look, you've got Prophet, but Prophet going for the mech is going to go back for a Necrobook now, but I feel DT need to have done a better job bringing down these tier 2 towers and not... Like, they just... Every time they're going up for their losing heroes, Luna should just not have been top lane to begin with. Sure, Luna needs farm and also is really under-leveled, but sticking with the team or at least farming somewhere safer seems a much better option.
Looks like TA has actually opted for the Midas post-treads.
Yeah. Tread. He got it before the Bleak Dagger, but it was like maybe a 12-13 minute Midas, but he didn't really mind.
It's not bad. That double kill really helped.
Yeah.
Luo playing super aggressively on bottom. Or left side.
Yeah. It seems to be the IG... Like, right now, they don't mind if Luo dies if he's playing pressure and creating space, because he gets picked off that far up on the map. It's not like DT are going to get towers off of it, because they've got so far to push before they even get to a tier 2. Getting picked off on your side of the map is a whole lot worse, so... It's kind of just that split push mentality where it's like, well, you apply pressure, chances are you don't die, and if you do somehow get 4 or 5 man gank, you're making up for it elsewhere on the map.
You can't kill us faster than we can farm.
Yeah.
Centaur also going for a pipe too. That's going to be big. And they have a lot of physical damage, but on top of that they have AA, Ice Blast, and Eclipse, and Breathe Fire. All those need to be dealt with somehow. There's a smoke from 2 heroes in mid, Super, Air, and Dreamy You.
Yeah, looks like they want to go up into this enemy jungle here. Faith is nearby up top, but not
Is
like...
Luo going to tank another smoke gank?
Nah. Could do. Have they got... What detection do they even... AA has Sentry Wards, okay. And they're going to just reveal themselves mid lane. It looks like they're going to go for a push here. They've got the Dragon form from the pair, and they're going to get this tier 2 tower. There is a glyph, but it's too late, I believe, to defend.
This tower is actually pretty important for IG. It's the last one that is in the way of DT getting Roshan. Actually, they're going high ground.
Yeah, why not? You can at least force TPs back. I think DT are tanky enough with... No, they've got BKB on the Dragonite. Luna needs to be careful, but they've also got mech. So I think they can force IG to engage. And the problem with this mid tier 3 tower is it's really hard for Sanking to hide.
You don't really want them to force an engage, though.
It's hard for Sanking to find an epicenter blink because there's no trees to hide in. Like, he's forced to smoke up and come from the side because there's nowhere to hide.
It's still so risky, though. Luna's like almost certainly going to die if it actually comes to an engagement.
Yeah, Chuan's ready to go. He's actually found... This is the spot. This is the only spot you can really use when you're pushing this mid lane tier 3.
But it looks like they will back off. They did get a fair amount of damage on that T3, though. They didn't expect that push, and they had a TP back to base, heal up, use a glyph, and by the time they all got into position, the damage has been done. So not a bad move from DT. They still lose a lot from their side lanes, though.
I mean, you said also, like, now DT can look to claim Roshan with this. Another good thing is, like, they put so much pressure on the tier 3 tower mid, it creates a safe place for Luna to farm bottom lane, because Luna does need this BKB. And it looks like just a Mithril Hammer still needs the BKB recipe, XDD. This is a really slow BKB. He's having not the happiest game.
Yeah, looks like we were close to getting a free tower in mid, but DK and Venge are there. IG can also sneak Roche if they get that T1 tower down to mid, so that tower is really important too.
Yeah, TA great for that. We'll have to see what TA goes for.
They're shooting Ice Blast. They're already scared of it.
I mean, TA plus one can take Roshan. I mean, TA can almost solo Roshan with Meld. At least come close to doing it. TA plus a Visage, or especially if Visage has Medallion, that's a dead Roshan. But speaking of Visage, no Medallion has gone for a gem.
You got Blink stun by Chuan, but he's too tanky.
Yeah, that mech. He didn't even need to use the mech.
Man, feeding those Necro books. Necro 1 so useless.
Necro 1 is like garbage item. Oh my god. Every time I'm like, I'm pushing a lane, I've just got my Necro 1, I'm like, I'll just summon it, get an extra bit of damage. I'm like, that is the biggest.
I use it on neutral creeps. Ancients.
It's struck. Like, can a Necro 1 even kill a neutral camp on its own? Like, I don't think the Necro 1 would win that battle.
They can kill kobolds.
Yeah. You can kill the easy camp, maybe.
Oh, here they go. How is IG's positioning? They have smoked up again on their two.
They've got to do this.
Blinks.
Yeah. The two blink supporters have to come from the side.
Aaron needs to start being on the tower, though. There's no one else that can beat on the tower without Luna's BKB. She's hiding her hammer, too.
I don't think DT want to force this. Not until they've got the Luna BKB.
They need Luna BKB. It's way too dangerous without it. I mean, if IG mess up, they can take it, but...
Oh, they didn't get the stun. Yeah, it was... I think looking for a stun there on Luo, but...
They had a sentry down, too.
Yeah. He popped the ulti and just couldn't get the stun in time, maybe? I don't know. But he's going to start chipping on this tower, knowing there's no glyph, so... He can force IG to engage. Chuan is once again hidden. These are the trees you want to chop down. If you're in July, you summon treants on these. He summons treants on the high ground, though. Chuan, no epicenter coming in just yet. He's going to be going soon here. He's so close. The tier 3 tower going down here. Chuan, you've got to start casting this epicenter soon, or you're going to lose your base. Epicenter being channeled now. There's going to be a blink Burrow Strike to follow to the Luna. +1. Nice Tura Burrow Strike. The Luna gets swapped out. The mech coming out as well. Luo getting low. Not going to be brought down just yet. In July, taking heavy damage, and YYF on the front line. It's going to stay alive just a little bit longer. Visage with a double kill. TA with a third. The chase is on. They want XDD. They're not going to get him. He gets the TP out. And now Ventral Spirit on the run, all alone, should be brought down. Really nice engagement from Chuan. Epicenter, Burrow Strike onto 2. And the Visage just cleaned up. Soul Assumptions all over the place, combined with the Familiars, was more than enough.
It's so risky pushing up high ground into 2 Blink Daggers. And Gold Swing...
Well, you can see there on the teamfight recap, it is a lot. No buybacks used or anything, and both teams using all their ultis more or less end of the day. So.
But DT still did get the T3 tower, which is huge.
I don't know. It's still a big win for IG though to get all those kills,
especially if they get Roshan off the back of this. But the T1 tower is up in mid, and everyone's going there.
Be careful, the Ferrari's really low. They're committing to this one. He's going to need another meld attack as soon as possible. They may not be able to get this one in time. It's going to be close, that's for sure.
Man, if Ferrari did not have that DD, it would not have happened like this.
They still want to fight this one. Ferrari, he pops it. Oh, he goes in, but the BKB being popped by the Luna. Ferrari needs to be careful. Does have an Aegis Blink, looking for a hoof stomp. He dodges it though. Airs BKB'd up. The hoof stomp catches no one. XCD still low.
Chuan looking for a blink in. Waiting for the BKBs to go down. No?
Familiar's getting resummoned now, and this is... I think IG just regrouped. They've got Aegis. There's no reason to force a fight now. They've got an even easier way to defend the high ground.
Well, they don't have BKB on Luna, because she just used it. So.
And DK as well. Both of these are on cooldown. So I think DT at least want to wait for these BKBs.
Well, TA does have hers. This is madness.
Why? Yeah, TA just got a BKB. Meanwhile, DT have no BKBs. Why are you pushing? There's also a glyph up any second.
They really want to get a Rax before their like split push and farming are a lot better. I think IG are much better at that sort of game than DT are. like at just out efficientizing the other team in the 20 to 40 minutes.
That push one of those pushes mid would have worked if he had just broken down these trees here using the treants. The trees that Chuan kept hiding in the mid lane. Like these trees right here, he just kept hiding right there. He was 200 range away from the Prophet. Prophet was just on the other side, but doesn't see Chuan because of the having no detection, the treants being there, giving him the fog of war. That was just... He was the game deciding factor in those pushes. Being there
AA can also drop vortexes around too.
They just weren't aware of
what. Well, you don't expect Sanking to be down there. You always expect him to be on the high ground on one of the sides. Like over here, over here.
I mean, he did it the first push, and he did it twice in a row. That's the big thing.
He's a ninja.
Well, trading tier 2 for a tier 1. I think IG quite happy to give up all their outer towers. They're only worried about defending the high ground, and getting a tier 1 is more gold for their lineup, and their lineup scales a lot better. They've got a Lincoln Sphere, I believe, on Luo now. Yeah. This is what he's.
Well, they're just able to split push so much better than DT, even though DT has a Nature's Prophet.
We've got a Necro 3 now on the Nature's Prophet, so we'll see how much that can help with this high ground push. And DK Shadowblade.
No, that's pretty big. Now they can stop the split push.
I like the Shadowblade pickup is so nice for all those pickoffs.
They could also get AC and just try and break base with it. That's another option, but
I think more important is having the initiation that the Shadowblade gives you. Like they need to be able to go in and stun up whoever's the TA or the Centaur, whoever's on the front. The Weaver has a Lincoln, so this is going to be an answer to the DK at least. Chuan's even got a Veil. Chuan's level 12 with Veil.
Yep, he doesn't have buyback though.
He's
gonna get caught out actually.
Yeah, Shadowblade's there. Oh, he blinked out.
Ooh. Wow,
that's some crazy. I mean,
now they scout him out too with his reserve reward. So the jig is up.
Yeah, they see the Shadowblade and I'm not gonna catch anyone by surprise. There's Gem already.
XDD in middle gets caught out by 2 blink stuns and just immediately melts. No Venge to save him that time, even though she's level 11 with the gem.
He's just so far away from his teammates.
XDD.
And once again, you said it, the split push from IG is just working out better. TA gets pressure on the tier 2 bottom tower and TPs himself out of there before he finds himself in harm's way, so... I'm not sure what the plan is for DT. Like this
Nature's Prophet can't push out all the lanes by himself. Well, I think the plan is to hope for a screw up by IG or pick off Sand King and then push the high ground. They almost got it.
If they kill him, like if he has no buyback as well, like that could be mid-Raxes. Or it'll be very close. Like IG defending those mid-Raxes without Sand King would have been very tricky.
Indeed. Indeed it would have been.
Air gets himself a nice Ancient stack, which gets him another 800 gold, but just a triple stack, nothing too crazy.
Invis up on Luo. They need an adventure.
Nothing's gonna... What do you break this with?
Swap.
Oh, they... Was that the Prophet ultimate? Prophet ultimate. That's... No? That was... Oh, that was swap. Okay. So looking for the swap stun, didn't find it. Prophet ultimate's probably the best way to break it. Because then,
no, it's not up.
Yeah, if it's up, because then it doesn't reveal the fact they're ganking him necessarily. Like generally, you're like as soon as your Lincolns get proc though, you're like your gut reflex is I better Shikuchi now and get the hell out of here. But
they should also toss a gem to DK. Oh, they have. Never mind.
Oh yeah. So even if he Shikuchis after the Lincoln's break, he's still likely to get stunned up. I don't think he had that kill attempt. I'm not sure.
The gem?
Yeah.
No, Super had it.
Okay. So they just passed over now.
Yeah.
Well, that means he has no slot for a TP scroll, but that's not the end of the world for him. Although he is kind of the one to deal with the split push. Like he's got the detection for the TA.
And look at IG's experience lead, 14,000. It's been in their lead almost the whole entire game, and DT is just unable to get things accomplished when not as 5. Look at them; they're all like slow and clunky. 3 of them are down here. Everyone's trying to move towards them, and they're trying to split push out a little bit with Nature's Prophet, but he can't even be out in lanes by himself.
Yeah, Prophet's the only one who has any kind of good mobility around the map. Compared to IG, and IG are just being... With all these blink daggers, they've got 3 blinks on their side. It's so much easier for them to just maneuver around. Ferrari, well, he's got this BKB. I imagine damage output's coming up next, so either Deso or a Daedalus, and similar story for the Weaver. Weaver's not had the best game as far as farm goes, but he's been just creating space for the rest of IG.
Indeed he has. He's like the pseudo carry.
Well, IG, happy to drag this game, and this game it will now start to drag. DT, I think, realized that they really wanted a Rax before like the 25-minute mark, and at this point they realized, crap, we're not going to get it.
It's mostly because Luna didn't have BKB.
Yeah. DT's late game is still good. Like Dragon Knight plus Luna plus Nature's Prophet, they've got 3 good late game core heroes. Like DK, you get an Assault Crest. Luna, you get Manta Style Butterfly. Your Nature's Prophet's going to have a Hex plus Mjolnir or something.
But they're just not farmed.
Yeah, DT's late game is really scary if they can get the farm. Like, if this goes another 20-30 minutes with DT staying up to par with farm, you look at IG and they've got TA plus Weaver. Like, these are still good late game carries, but I feel like DT have the superior late game almost.
I think the team fight from the supports, though, the double stun, AoE stun from Centaur and Sand King, and the amount of bursts that you can do before BKBs are probably just incredible.
And Visage will have 3 familiars as well.
AA has Scepter too, to be fair.
Yep. And looking for an engagement bottom lane with the Shadow Blade. Not going to find it on Luo.
So they're like trying to gank as 5, and they're not farming the map. Looks like Injuly has rotated back, but they're not doing ancient stacks, they're not stacking ancients, they're not able to clear their own neutral camps very easily without giving IG even more farm. So it looks like they will smoke up, but this is not really the time to do so, because if you get a kill right now, well, no in mid lane, and if you get a kill, you're not able to translate that into a Roshan. And they really need to kill Sand King, I think, is probably the big hero. Sand King has buyback, Centaur has 3,500 gold, and I think everybody has buyback except for Visage, but Visage is like as far as away as you can get, and IG's game sense.
And killing Visage, you can't just be like, oh, we killed Visage, let's push. No, you're pushing into a Sand King.
Visage might die though.
Yeah, I see, that's a good point. Oh, he's not going to check out.
He was so close to popping the smoke.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Centaur TP's out, Visage. Oh, they just TP'd in. In July. He goes looking, not going to find anyone, unfortunately. Oh, no. Nothing working out for him.
The jig is up.
Yep. Back to pushing / farming. And I think this is where XCD especially just needs to really prioritize his farm. They need to keep on just farming their neutrals, stacking their ancients. They're pinging their ancients like, guys, we need to stack this. We need to farm. Like, we can still win this late game. We get DK.
Yeah, I think they're concentrating on run objectives here. Yeah. They need a gank, but they don't need a gank as 5. They can gank with like Nature's Prophet and DK. Like DK and Venge can go off somewhere while AA and Luna farm. You can just shoot your AA ultimate, shoot Nature's Wrath, TP in if you need to, and just stun lock someone down from 100 to 0. And the way they're just going about it is just very odd. And the one who's suffering the most is Luna.
Yep.
By far.
Luna number 5 on the net worth though. DT is, I mean, looking at the net worth, they've got 3 of the top 5. Like, their carries are actually leading the farm quite convincingly. It's the IG supports who have a ton more farm. Like, Sand King up to 8k, Visage on 6k. Your Radiant supports are fairly squishy under farm, but look at Avenge. All you need is a good clutch swap in a team fight, and you have a big impact. AA, similar story. You throw an Ice Blast hitting multiple heroes, you do enough in a team fight just from that. So I feel like that's where the gold graph, it is IG favored, but it's somewhat misleadingly in IG's favor.
At the same time, they don't really have, like, what does AA offer past Ice Blast? Really nothing. Like, Centaur can just keep blink, stun, burst people down. To aid, he has a pipe on top of that. So, and Sand King can always reinitiate too with more burrow strokes. Venge's stun is not as reliable. It's like shorter range. She doesn't have a blink. It's not AoE, etc., etc.
Still looking for these kills. Air is just shadow blading all around the map.
They have traps everywhere, though.
The trap, yeah, they de-warded a trap there.
Traps should give more than 1 gold.
5, maybe?
5? Yeah, I'd be on board with 5. One's just like, why bother? Yeah. I got more from the last second than I did from passive gold. From that.
Yeah. Well, like, why don't you just give 0 gold? If you're going to give, you may as well be 0 gold rather than 1.
It's just, yeah, I know. It's
1
just
is
like
just insulting.
Screw you. It's just like rubbing your face. Hey, you just wasted your time. Here's 1 gold.
Get on the phone to Ice Frog.
It's like bending over to pick up a penny on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
It's like it's just not worth it.
If they gave too much gold, it'd be like a pretty big TA nerf though. But I mean, 5 would be reasonable.
Yeah. 2 even. 2. What range is it that just is like, oh, okay, that's nice. I can work with that.
If you wanted to like completely troll, like you could just make it so like there's like a 5% chance that it gives more than 1 gold. Like 9 times out of 10 you're getting 1 gold, and that one time you get like 50 gold or something.
It could be like killing sprees. If you kill 3 or more, you get more gold.
I like that idea. Oh.
But right now, Nature Prophet forced to use Necro Books just to push out lanes, and this is not, I don't think, what DT had in mind. They have a pretty darn strong 5-man lineup. They have very good like tower sieging capabilities with DK and with Nature's Prophet and with Luna, but they just have not been able to do so. Look at Sand King and No Man's Land, or not Sand King, Weaver.
Yeah. I was thinking about maybe going in for a kill here, but decides to back off. They de-ward one of these lane wards at top lane, but the other one, the Necro Book, doesn't scatter. That's one good thing about spamming the Necro 3. Because they're not going to be pushing, you spam it, you de-ward the map. Like, you look at IG's vision right now.
They're smoked again.
Yeah. And IG only have 1 Observer Ward in that top lane. That's the only Observer Ward on the map, and largely because of the Necro 3. The gem's also there, but the Necro 3's also played a big part.
Oh, they're going to go the wrong way.
it's just been a constant guessing game for DT. Like, where can we find kills? Where can we find our opponents? And they're always just guessing wrong. I'm not sure what else to say. Like, what else they can do.
Yeah, all 5 of them are messing on the map. Even if
look at like IG are just so good at
yeah.
staying hidden. Like YYF's in the trees at bottom. Ferrari's playing fairly secretive, and the thing is, they're buying items. Like Ferrari picks up a Desolate, but they're also making sure they still have buybacks.
DT's probably like, what the heck? They don't have any wards. How do they always know we're ganking them?
Yeah.
But maybe Luo might die here. Nah.
Look at these buybacks. Everyone on IG has buyback apart from Visage. Still.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. They're going to scout him. It's over. Oh, no, maybe not. They don't have any wards on anyone except...
DK?
Oh, no.
DK's got gem. Oh, he sees him. They break the Lincolns to get the DK stun. This could be the death of Luo. Can they burst him down before a time lapse? You betcha they can.
Why'd he go left?
And that was perfect scenario. Cold Feet broke the Lincolns. If the Vengeful Spirit stun broke the Lincolns, that may have not worked so well.
Well,
they try to Roshan. TA tries to sneak Roche, but Treants are there to scout it out, and triple TP's bottom. They're coming in to contest this Roche, but Roshan has already been backed off from.
I think they can do Roche themselves, or at least threaten it. I guess they have to look out for Sanking, though. They just need to throw Ice Vortexes.
I think DT are doing okay here. Like, I don't think you give IG an edge in this game necessarily. Like, this is where, like, sure, Sanking and Center are going to win you team fights, but DT just say, we're not going for team fights, we're going for farm and just pick off.
It's 35 minutes in, and the Luna only has BKB and Manta.
It's not great, but like, look at the Weaver. Weaver's just got Lincolns.
That's true.
That's your counterpart. Like, that's both teams' main farmer. Like, the most farmed heroes is the Prophet and the TA.
I don't even think Weaver does that much damage, though. Like, look at, like, Sanking's huge. He almost has Shiva's guard.
Weaver is going to be a very low impact in these teams.
Ferrari's going to come in and steal it.
Oh, he gets picked up by the Luna. Ferrari did go in there. Luna Eclipse as well. BK beat up. They're trying to fight Ferrari, and Ferrari's just going to go down to the right clicks. Visage as well, taking a fall. Buyback from your Temple Assassin. Here comes the Sanking. Epicenter from the high ground. He will get the Blink off. Nothing to cancel. Blink. Fire Strike on 2. Dreamy Hue as well. Super taking heavy damage. Chuan will go down here. Vengeful Spirit's still alive as well. He gets an Earn off as well. He's still alive somehow. YYF will take a fall as well. 3 heroes dead. TA, where is TA? Bolt back, coming back in. I think realizing, oh crap, we've already lost this fight.
No one was there on time. Where was Centaur at the beginning of the fight? He wasn't there. He needed some backup.
And IG, luckily for them, they have buyback. Still keep them in the game, but...
Oh my goodness, that was such a terrible fight.
He just did get used immediately, I believe. Oh my god, that negative... They lost so much net worth from that one. Double damage. 7,500 gold swing.
Whew, they just needed more heroes there. They were down Luo, but Luo, to be honest, doesn't really do that much. They just needed to blink in with TA, force BKBs, and then after that, go in with Centaur or Sanking, or go in with Centaur or Sanking before Roshan dies, and then kill Luna before she pops the BKB. Either or, and neither of those happened.
Well, after that, I see Dreamtime, I think, in a much better position. Like, I mean, as far as like they were fine before, but I think they're actually leading now.
Yeah, I'd say they're leading.
The
now.
golden experience graphs say otherwise, but I just like their late game is a lot scarier. They've got Hex up. DK's going to have an Assault Crest any minute now. And I feel like part of the problem is IG had 4 or 5 heroes all saving for buyback, but that means they just didn't have extra items. Like, they could have just had that one next item. Like, TA now picks up the Crystallis, but they didn't have these items in that last fight. And that's also, they used like 3 or 4 buybacks. That's also something that the gold graph doesn't show. That's not like a net worth versus net worth graph. You look at these net worths of the heroes, and it's the Radiant side, 3 of the top 4 all green.
That's pretty scary. Dragon Knight closing in on his AC relatively soon. Once Luna gets Butterfly, TA not going to have an MKB because she went for
TA just dies to the right clicks. Like, the BKB doesn't save the TA when your 3 core heroes on DT is physical damage. Your Vengeful Spirit Aura as well, 36% damage bonus. I don't know. I think IG in some trouble here in game 1.
I think they're in lots of trouble now. Off the back of that Roach fight. I think IG had the lead prior to that, but they just completely botched that one.
I mean, at worst, it was like kind of a fairly neutral 50-50 game. Like, I feel IG were playing very passively.
Oh!
Push to come in.
TA gets instantly swapped and sheeped. I think
that's
that
100 seconds dead.
Yeah. Well, it's all on Chuan. Can Chuan have the biggest epicenter of his life?
He would love to be level 16 right now, but unfortunately, just about 400 experience short. He blinks into the trees. This is where you'd expect. This is where, like, last time DT pushed mid, they didn't cut down enough of these trees. This is exactly where you should expect Chuan to be, and look to just summon treants.
Wow, he already has his AC. Jeez.
On DK, yeah.
This is the best window they're going to get.
Epicenter being channeled very early from Chuan. He goes in. It's just a DK. He doesn't get the BKB off. Air may actually go down in the end. Yes, he does go down. That's a nice start to the fight here. XCD on the front lines. Well, BKB actually brings down the Weaver out of this fight now. Where was the swap?
Where was the hype a little bit earlier?
They could have saved that DK, surely. He could have been swapped out. There was so much he could have done. Chuan goes in, gets a nice 2-hero Burrow Strike, followed by a hook stomp double. It's XTD getting low. He's going to go down. Nicely played by IG. They're holding this game, even without the Templar Assassin. YYF in trouble, gets brought down in the Sprouts. One more Soul Stone from Faith. He's the last one left standing, so this will be at least a tier 3 tower, possibly Raxus as well. Swap going to catch up Faith. Vengeful Spirit, no mana for a stun here, but Faith will just go down to the right clicks. Drops a gem, and maybe see that one picked up. They're just going to buy back for this. And where is this Familiar? I think it's Familiar's got taken out as well, so this is going to be both mid and top Raxus. Mid Raxus go down to a creep wave. How did that happen?
Fear announcement because someone's there.
Oh dear. 4 Raxus and IG are pretty much out of this game. They've got maybe a small glimmer of hope once they all respawn to take one last big team fight, but beyond that, not much they can do, I feel.
You can't pull off the sort of thing IG does unless you have crisp, flawless execution in team fights. And the Roshan and the Ferrari getting caught out is just not their game.
I feel, yeah, like there's just been a lot of just, I mean, the clutch plays weren't there. The kind of plays you expect IG to make. Lure's had zero impact as well on the Weaver. He's been so quiet. I wonder if the Weaver was even the right pick to make. Like, it just feels like the hero itself isn't going to do a whole lot against this kind of a lineup. I'm kind of surprised they actually last picked Weaver. I mean, we didn't really talk about that earlier. I mean, it's easy to say that in hindsight, but...
Well, they didn't have many disables. I didn't expect him to aggro try, though.
Yeah.
If they safe lane try, I think it would have been fine, because he would have been more farm, had his Lincolns earlier, probably have Dezo, and then TA can go for something else instead.
Was the DK picked up after the Weaver or before?
I think...
It was a first pick Ancient Apparition. I think DT had first pick, so they had last pick. So I think they picked up DK after the Weaver.
That's true.
Because they first picked AA and then IG picked up Centaur.
They could have gone for like a Lifestealer. Lifestealer's pretty good here.
Yeah.
But Weaver, as you said, just doesn't really do that much right now.
Especially with the Lincoln's BKB, your damage output is just pitiful. You're against, what, Assault Crest Aura, DK who has 35 armor. You're not doing any damage with your right clicks.
Yeah. And on top of that, she's just going to melt during BKB anyways because of Lunar Blessing and AC.
It's all up to Chuan, and luckily this time Chuan is level 16, so there is a level 3 epicenter, but...
Regeneration.
As to how game-changing that's going to be, I question it. If DT want, they can just keep these lanes pushed out, wait for the next Roshan maybe, and force IG to come
If
to
IG
them.
make a big hold at Roshan, though, then maybe they can still get back in the game. But like right now, it's so difficult to come back to back stab.
Pushing out their lanes to contest Roshan's really hard to do when you're down 4 lanes, though, because...
Especially against Nature's Prophet.
Oh, yeah. This Prophet is going to be just relentless. Picks up a BKB as well. I like this item on Prophet at this stage of the game. There's nothing to cancel BKB TPs. Yeah, nothing to cancel BKB TP. But just in general, I mean, he can still go down to the physical damage of a TA, even if he's not careful, even if he's trying to BKB TP out, but...
Yeah, he has a lot of HP. And a lot of armor, too, for Nature's Prophet.
Oh, is there detection? Yeah, they got detection for this, so they'll bring down IG's really only vision on the map. They didn't get it.
Or will they?
They get scared.
Wow.
They see 5 heroes missing. I think they get... Oh, Chuan's mid.
Double damage.
They are smoked, though.
They actually... Do they realize IG did this? I mean, they play like they realize they're going to throw an Ice Blast bottom lane, and... That'll hit YYF as he comes forward, so... That was... DT with some spidey senses there. They didn't even finish the D ward on that Observer ward.
Yeah, overall it wouldn't have been terribly important because Roshan's up, it won't be up by the time that Dead Hero respawns.
They do have to be careful because there's Prophet and Luna both with buyback, but there we go. They do get the D ward now. They see 3 heroes top and they realize, okay, we're safe to go. Next CD, he's got 5k gold, so we'll see his next big item coming up soon. Probably a Butterfly, but yeah, there's no MKBs coming anytime, so...
Yeah, Butterfly, Aegis, and give cheese to DK, and that should be enough to steal the game out.
I think Ferrari just needs to buy his Daedalus ASAP. You can't be saving for buyback when you're down 4 Raxes.
Yes.
Buyback is not going to win you a game when it's 4 Rax deficit.
I agree.
But
maybe if you had BOTs or something, or if you were like, they just probably can get back right back into fight, so you can actually make it a 6v5. But as a TA with no towers up close to Roshan, which is likely where the next fight is going to decide the game, then it's not worth it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. DT, I think, rightfully playing this game slow now. So they got the 4 racks advantage. They're waiting for Roshan. They can wait for a smoke gank. They can wait for a little pick off. They don't have to be aggressive at all. And IG, I mean, it's kind of similar for them. They don't want to do anything too crazy, but they're going to be put under a lot of pressure when Roshan's back. And I think if they contest Roshan, they're still in this game. But doing so, that's probably what they're thinking right now. How do we contest Roshan? What do we need to do as far as get vision up? And the problem is, their only ward around that Roshan pick got taken out. So actually contesting Roshan once it respawns in, well, 1 minute's time is going to be very tricky to do. The other problem is IG... Actually, they've got a trap there. They will know when Roshan respawns because
they can
of that
throw
trap.
birds too.
Yeah. So... yeah, well, we'll see. Ferrari's 300 away from his data list now as a butterfly is picked up by Luna. So this does put DT in a position where Luna does not have buyback should Luna die.
If she doesn't pop her BKB before like sinking ultimate and there's no swap to follow up, they could potentially lose the fight.
I mean,
potentially.
That was the top lane where there was no swap to save the DK, which was a bit questionable. But hey, they're going to go for a smoke of their own now, realizing Roshan coming up soon, and Air going to find a regen rune, and looks like they want to go for a pick-off here. Chuan needs to be careful. Realizes there's a lot of heroes missing on the map, but he's still poking forward, and they've got the detection there. Immediately hex up the swap to follow. Should be a stun, and this should be an easy kill.
No buyback on him.
Oh, he's so close as well. He's short 50 gold. He probably thought he had enough of the buyback there, and it's not the case, unfortunately. I guess that farming that with the Sandstorm there, if he just killed one more creep, he has buyback. And that's possibly GG. If he had buyback...
BKB already forced out on Luna, so not the worst thing in the world for IG.
Well, do you need your... You're pushing against no sanking, though, so your BKBs are actually not that important. Like, center hoof stomp, sure, but there's no actual follow-up magic damage. So.
Well, here they go.
They go Roshan. They'll play... This does throw IG a bone, because it will buy them time to get sanking to respawn. I feel not going for the tier 3 tower when sanking's dead was...
But I don't think they can kill Luna twice. That's the problem.
Yeah. If they had Luna buyback, they probably would... Oh, God. Do you see those familiars? Right.
Oh, no.
I don't see those familiars.
And,
exactly.
and Sinking just bought back.
What? Why?
I don't know.
He was about to respawn. He was like 10 seconds away from respawning.
To be fair, it doesn't really matter. But
yeah, like he would have respawned and not had buyback if he died, but still, it's like you could have bought, I don't know, an Ogre Club? No, nothing game-changing, but...
Ghost Scepter?
He had like, around, what, 1,200, 1,300 gold. It was just so... It's like throwing 1,200 gold away for nothing. Like, that's... If you want to play out this game, you got to play out this game properly.
DT is playing it super safe.
They've got no buybacks. So, sure, they've got Aegis and Cheese.
They have Luna with the Aegis.
Prophet's the main one who doesn't have buyback. Prophet with no buyback, though. Like, you're pushing... You want to have that 6v5.
That's true. He can just split push the sides, though.
Yeah.
And just, like, put pressure on the T4s while they put pressure on bottom, though. He doesn't actually have to beat it a fight.
And now, making their way into the enemy jungle here. They should be able to deward this high ground. Observer ward there. They get the easy deward. And it's like, what are IG actually going to get to win this game? Like, oh, they get a stun now. This is a dead Visage. He, I think, does have buyback. Nope, he's 30 gold short. Once again, IG dying with a hero just short of buyback. TP bottom from the Prophet.
They're not on their A game today.
No, really not. Oh, okay. Big Daedalus crits coming in. Injuline needs to be careful. The Hex on Ferrari, though, and Luna's going chasing YYF now. Epicenter Burrow Strike coming in from Chuan, but he's going to pay the price. 3 heroes dead, and this is GG. There's
his
no way
Burrow
about
Strike, or his Epi literally did nothing. It was like 2 BKB heroes.
GG comes out. Dreamtime have taken game 1 against IG.
I actually favored them heavily in the like mid to late game decision making, like putting pressure around the map without dying and then executing the team fights, and they just completely failed at the team fight aspect. They were really good at pushing out lanes and delaying the game, and like a couple of things happened. Firstly, too much damage on a T3 before they got there. They got nothing in return for a glyph and half the damage on a T3. You can't let that happen, not that early. And they weren't that far behind. And then the Roshan fight where Ferrari, BKB TP'd in, but nowhere. The RIF wasn't there.
Yeah. He went for the Aegis steal, and like, Aegis steal aside, they can take that fight, even if DT get Aegis and Roshan, if they had Centaur and Chuan there, it goes a lot better. So
and like the pipe wasn't popped a lot of the time too. Like Luo didn't get farmed, but a lot of it comes back to the Weaver pick and the decision, the laning decision. That's a strong tri lane. Luna, Venge, AA. You do not actually want to fight that, especially as you said with the Nature's Prophet there. So
and the safe lane tri lane means not just Weaver getting more farm, but the Sanking and Visage getting pulls. Because Sanking, like Visage especially, got a really slow level 6. Sanking did alright because he rotated top. That was actually like IG played the early game so well. They won the tri lane. Sanking went top, got a kill, but
and then after that they switched top anyways. Like they Luna's farm was like pathetically bad, and they still managed to come out just because they got so many towers, and IG executed so poorly. So I think they really need to get their execution together. They could have easily won with that draft and with that laning, but a lot of it came down to the mid-game decision making.
Well, we'll see if they can get their execution better in game number 2, guys. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, the Summit Asia continues. IG down a game against Dreamtime. This is a double elimination bracket, so a loss here does not send them out of the tournament, but it's a team they're expected to beat. So we'll see if IG can bounce back in game 2, guys. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more Dota 2 action from the Summit continues.